When I woke up in the hospital again, the first person I saw was Shen Buyu. Her face was drawn with exhaustion, and she sat beside my bed with reddened eyes. When she saw I was awake, she was overjoyed at first, then threw herself onto me, sobbing uncontrollably. I ignored her. Instead, I moved my legs first. Only when I found nothing wrong did I finally relax. In my previous life, this car crash had crippled both my legs. My career and life were destroyed overnight. Even after I died, no one claimed my body. Luckily, I had been given another life. This time, I had escaped the injury that would cripple me. In truth, this car crash had played out in my mind in my previous life, thousands upon thousands of times. So the moment I was reborn, I was confident I could avoid the truck coming toward us. But at the critical moment, Shen Buyu threw herself over me. Her sudden movement jerked the steering wheel off course. To shield her, my head slammed hard into the steering wheel. The wound on my head throbbed painfully. I drew a deep breath and forced down the pain. Then I looked at Shen Buyu, crying over me. I am fine. I can leave the hospital in a few days. It will not delay your divorce. Shen Buyu stopped crying at once. She raised her head, her eyes still red-rimmed. Who said anything about divorce? I will not divorce you. I will not divorce you. She grabbed my hand, shaking her head repeatedly. I already tore up the divorce papers. Do not ever think about divorcing me. I frowned at her. Was divorce not what she had always wanted? Now that I was letting her be with Lan, what was she unhappy about? In my previous life, I was paralyzed from the waist down protecting her. Burdened by duty and pressure, she had no choice but to abandon the idea of divorce. I knew I was useless, and I asked for divorce many times. She refused every time. At first, Shen Buyu truly treated me well. She cooked and did the laundry herself. Every day, she took me for walks and tried everything to make me smile. It was warmth I had never known after our marriage. Gradually, I found the will to live again. But before long, she began to tire of it. She would slip out late at night and not return until dawn. Later, she started going out during the day too. Sometimes she would only make my meals for the day that morning, then vanish for the entire day. I had already guessed she was going to see Lan. Until one day, she came back in Lan's car, and I saw them from upstairs. When she came home, I watched her working in the kitchen and asked for a divorce again. I told her to live happily with Lan, perhaps because I had exposed her secret affair. She smashed the bowls and chopsticks, flying into a rage. We parted on bitter terms that day, and she stormed out, slamming the door. But she did not know that soon after she left, a gas explosion tore through our home. I suffered severe burns and was rushed to the hospital. The doctors called Shen Buyu countless times, but she hung up every call. The surgery failed. I died on the operating table. There was not even anyone to claim my body. Even now, I can vividly feel my skin burning, the agonizing pain that tore me apart, and that crushing despair. I never wanted to experience it again. And Shen Buyu's disgusted, mocking gaze. I never wanted to see that again either. Since, in this life, this crash had caused no irreversible harm, and everything could begin anew, then Shen Buyu and I had even less reason to keep hating each other. We had already wasted 7 years together. You do not love me at all. So why bother? Who says I do not love you? I love you. Shen Buyu seemed panicked at my words. She immediately cut me off, repeating that she loved me, but I found it ridiculous. How could she possibly love me? Across the lifetimes, I had never seen what she looked like when she loved me. Then something occurred to me. I gave a self-mocking laugh. Tell me, what do you want this time? Whenever she wanted something from me before, she would first act vulnerable, and whenever she said one kind word to me, I would have given her everything I had. This time, she had actually taken the initiative to say she loved me. She probably wanted me to do something for her or Lan again, or perhaps she had found another way to humiliate me. After all, in this life, I had not sacrificed my legs for her. She would not pity me for it either. You think I have an ulterior motive? Do you not? I gave a cold laugh. Perhaps I had struck a nerve. Because Shen Buyu said nothing for a moment, I looked at her pale face and dim expression, feeling inexplicably irritated. If you are fine, then go home first. I want to rest. With that, I lay down and closed my eyes. Shen Buyu stood there watching me for a while. Perhaps finding me boring, she left. When I heard the door close, I opened my eyes. In this life, Shen Buyu and I had truly reached the end. Had we not? Just as I thought it was all over, Shen Buyu returned half an hour later. She was carrying flowers and a cake. This time, she entered with a bright smile. It was as though our earlier conflict had never happened. She set down the cake, then pressed the flowers into my arms. Fang Xiu, happy birthday. I stared blankly at the flowers in my arms. Today was my birthday? I had completely forgotten. My parents divorced when I was young, and my grandmother raised me. When I was little, only Grandma remembered my birthday, and only on that day could I have birthday noodles with 2 fried eggs. Later, after I left my hometown, Grandma remained in the countryside, and no one ever celebrated my birthday again, even after I married Shen Buyu. And Lan was the only person she cared about. I used to prepare for her birthday a month in advance, creating grand, romantic settings for her, and buying lavish gifts. But she had never even asked when my birthday was, much less prepared a cake or flowers for me. I eyed her suspiciously. Was this really Shen Buyu? Had this car crash somehow shaken her? But I was the one who hit my head. I looked again at the bouquet in my arms. When I saw what flowers they were, all my confusion vanished at once. Only a faint bitterness remained. She had bought blue roses. Blue roses symbolized the stars and the sea. The sea was Lan's favorite. They had first met by the sea and fallen in love there. None of it had anything to do with me. Shen Buyu. These are the ones he did not want, right? After thinking about it, I remembered that today was not only my birthday. It was also Lan's discharge day. These flowers must have been meant for him. And Lan had returned to the country a month ago, but was in a car accident the day he met me. He broke his leg. Because of that crash, his athletic career back home was put on hold. Shen Buyu stayed with him at the hospital every day. Even when she occasionally came home, she treated me with coldness and cruelty. Because in her heart, it was my jealousy that had caused Lan's accident, so I only deserved what Lan did not want. Shen Buyu froze and looked at the flowers in my hands. Only then did she seem to understand. Regret flickered across her face. I am sorry. Thank you for the birthday cake. It is getting late. You should go home first. My voice was stiff as I looked at her without expression. Shen Buyu did not move. A complicated emotion filled her eyes. Part regret, part helplessness. We remained at an impasse for a while. She opened her mouth, then spoke cautiously. How about I make you a bowl of birthday noodles? I frowned and remained silent. I wanted to know what Shen Buyu was really up to. Taking my silence as agreement, she happily left the room. After a while, the door opened again. Shen Buyu walked in carefully, carrying an insulated food container. Fang Xiu, time to eat. It sounded exactly like time to drink your poison. The corner of my eye twitched. Could she be offended by my lack of gratitude earlier and have poisoned the noodles? Shen Buyu looked at me innocently. I stared fixedly at the container in her hands, without saying a word. When I did not make a move, she grew anxious. She walked straight to the bed, set the container on the bedside table, and opened it. A fragrant aroma washed over me. I could not help peeking inside. Two golden fried eggs rested atop the noodles. They were sprinkled with scallions and looked delicious. My appetite was instantly awakened. My stomach growled twice. Embarrassed, I lowered my head. Shen Buyu immediately placed chopsticks in my hand. You are hungry, right? Seeing the hope in her eyes, I hesitantly picked up the chopsticks. It was the same familiar flavor from my past life. She had made it herself. But after 2 bites, I realized something was wrong. At this point in time, Shen Buyu did not know how to cook at all. Since the day Shen Buyu was born, she had been a pampered heiress who never lifted a finger. Even after her family fell on hard times, she never did housework. After marrying me, I did all the cooking and housework. She never helped. After my legs were crippled, Shen Buyu gradually began cooking. During that time, I often had to eat her disastrous cooking. Later, I did not know who taught her, but she became a better and better cook. Her noodles, especially, became exceptional. But this Shen Buyu had never set foot in a kitchen. How could she make noodles that tasted exactly like those from my past life? I looked at her with doubt and suspicion. My stare made Shen Buyu nervous. What is wrong? I frowned, about to ask who had made the noodles, when a phone ringtone suddenly interrupted me. Shen Buyu took out her phone and glanced at it. Her brow furrowed, and she gave me a somewhat guilty look. I did not need to guess. It was Lan. The corner of my mouth lifted slightly. Answer it. Shen Buyu hesitated for a moment, then answered. Buyu, where are you? And Lan's voice came through the phone, clear enough for the whole hospital room to hear. What is it? Shen Buyu sounded somewhat cold, perhaps because I was there. And Lan's voice was gentle. Buyu, did you not say you would pick me up from the hospital today? When are you coming? Hearing that, Shen Buyu secretly glanced at me. I have things to do today, so I will not be coming. I hope you recover soon. There was silence on the other end for a moment. Then Lan spoke again, his voice noticeably more despondent. All right. Come see me when you are done. Shen Buyu hung and drew a deep breath. Her eyes were full of complicated emotions as she looked at me. She spoke quickly. Fang Xiu, that was Lan calling me. I did promise to pick him up from the hospital, but today, I only want to be here. I did not want to hear her keep explaining, so I cut her off. Enough. Thank you for spending my birthday with me, and thank you for the noodles. I watched her face gradually turn pale, then let out a slow breath. It is late. Go back. He is still waiting for you. On this day in my past life, no one wished me a happy birthday. After signing the divorce papers that morning, I had worked up the courage to tell Shen Buyu that it was my birthday. Foolishly, I hoped that before we became complete strangers, I might receive a blessing from her. But all I received was her mockery. Today is the day, and Lan is leaving the hospital. You destroyed his future by any means necessary, and you still have the nerve to celebrate your birthday. All I could do was weakly explain that it had only been an accident. If you had not let your suspicion and jealousy make you arrange to meet him, you would not have been in that car accident. Why did you have to ruin a perfectly good life like this? The doctor said he will never compete again. His life is ruined. Do you not feel even a shred of guilt? Fang Xiu, after being with you for so long, I never knew you were this kind of person. Every word was like a blade stabbing into my heart. I had no strength left to say anything. All I could do was keep apologizing. Then, on the way to finalize our divorce, the accident happened. I lost both my legs to Shen Buyu. Perhaps that was my atonement to Lan. Fang Xiu, do not worry. Today, I am only with you. And from now on, I will only be with you. Shen Buyu's words pulled me from my thoughts. I looked into her bright, profound eyes, and suddenly felt flustered. Why was everything different from my past life? Silence fell over the room again. Only the occasional traffic and distant voices drifted in from outside. But my heart could no longer be still. Lying in bed, I turned away and muttered, "Do whatever you want." I did not know how Shen Buyu reacted behind me. I only vaguely heard a soft laugh. I closed my eyes and forced myself to ignore her. After a while, I heard Shen Buyu softly say, "Get some rest. I will be right outside." Then I heard her footsteps walking away. The door softly clicked shut. I opened my eyes and quietly stared at the door, deep in thought. Over the next few days, Shen Buyu came every day. Whenever I mentioned divorce, she avoided the subject. I could only set it aside for now. On the day I was discharged, Shen Buyu came in holding a delicate bouquet of lilies. Smiling brightly, she held them out to me. "Congratulations on leaving the hospital." I was surprised she had given me flowers. My eyes settled on the bouquet in her hands. They were Oriental lilies. Oriental lilies symbolize great love. Shen Buyu gave a cheerful laugh and tucked them into my arms. "There is a surprise waiting for you at home." Noticing my puzzled look, she said nothing more. She only gave me a mysterious smile, then turned away, humming as she packed up the room. Over the past few days, her strange behavior had shocked me again and again. I had grown used to it. I assumed she felt guilty about the accident. Once I left the hospital, she would probably return to her old self. The car slowly headed toward the villa. When we reached the entrance, I saw someone I never expected to see. It wasn't Lan. Had he actually followed me home? I turned to Shen Buyu. Was this the surprise she mentioned? Shen Buyu frowned in confusion. When she caught my gaze, she quickly shook her head. "I did not ask him to come. I do not know why he is here either." Apparently seeing our car arrive, and Lan's eyes lit up as he limped toward us. "What are you doing here?" Shen Buyu rolled down the window and asked first, and Lan's brows drew together slightly, his expression dimming. "Buyu, you have not come to see me in so long. I have missed you." Shen Buyu glanced at me, then spoke to him coldly. "And Lan, I am married. Do not say things that could be misunderstood again." My brows rose at that. Shen Buyu could actually say something like that to Lan. And Lan's face went pale at once. "Buyu, what do you mean?" Shen Buyu frowned deeply. "And Lan, I made myself very clear a few days ago. I can treat you as a friend, or even as family, but there will never be anything more between us. You clearly said you would wait for me. I truly came back for you this time. Please, trust me one more time." "Then how long did you expect me to wait?" Shen Buyu cut him off. "I gave you countless chances. You rejected them again and again. Now it is too late. From the day you went abroad, I stopped loving you." I sat frozen in the passenger seat. She said she no longer loved Lan, but all these years, she had always held Lan closest to her heart. She had waited for him to return. And because of that accident, she had believed it was me who ruined Lan's athletic career. Yet now she said that from the day Lan went abroad, she had stopped loving him. For a moment, I could not tell whether I had been wrong in my past life, or whether the crash had truly thrown everything into chaos. And Lan did not believe her either. "Have you fallen in love with him?" Shen Buyu did not evade the question. She turned to look at me. "Yes, I love him." This was the second time she had said she loved me, and she said it right in front of Lan. And Lan stared at me for a while. His expression grew darker and darker. Finally, he left in a rage. Shen Buyu walked around to the passenger side and held out a hand to help me out. "Did the two of you have a falling out? Is that why you used me as a shield?" Shen Buyu let out a deep sigh, then leaned close to me. "In your eyes, every word I say has some hidden agenda." I turned my face away without answering. "Fang Xiu, I meant every word I just said." She was standing too close. There was not a trace of joking in her eyes. My heartbeat went wild. I could only push her away and head inside first. The moment the door opened, I heard movement from the kitchen. A familiar figure was coming out. "Grandma." I forgot about everything else and hurried over. Grandma pulled me into a hug, her eyes crinkling with joy. "My dear boy, Grandma missed you so much." She was getting old, but she was in wonderful spirits. After hugging me, She held me at arm's length and looked me over, only letting go once she was sure I was all right. I knew you missed Grandma, so I brought her here to stay for a few days. I had to beg her for ages before she agreed. Grandma took one of my hands and one of Shen Buyu's, then placed them together. Grandma is old now. As long as you two are happy together, I can rest easy. Shen Buyu immediately tightened her grip on my hand. I looked down at our clasped hands and let her hold mine. My heart a tangled mess of emotions. It was not until several days later that I understood why she had gone to such trouble to bring Grandma here. Whenever I brought up divorce, Grandma would suddenly appear beside us, saying I was fickle and always chasing the next new thing, and that I did not know how to cherish what I had. With Grandma running interference for her, I could only keep quiet for the time being. There would be another chance later, but Shen Buyu did not only use Grandma to stop me. She also brought home a stack of rebirth novels, making me read them one by one. After each one, I had to tell her what I thought of it. She read them too, as though she was waiting for me to figure something out first. After reading so many, I even wondered whether I had entered some parallel world. A month passed like this. My legs fully recovered, and I returned to work at the company. Life was relatively uneventful, and things between us were no longer as tense as when I first woke in the hospital. One night, I worked until late. When I returned to our room, Shen Buyu was still sitting on the sofa. She held the unfinished rebirth novel in her hands. A cup of warm milk sat beside her. I was waiting for you. I took the cup and casually told her, I am going on a business trip to hiking in 2 days. No. Shen Buyu immediately sat upright. She even closed her book. Fang Xiu, can you not go? Why? She stared at me for a long time, before saying she had a dream a few days ago. I dreamed that in 2 days, a chemical plant in Haicheng's high-tech district would have an accident. Many people would be caught up in it. She gave the time and place with startling precision. It was exactly like the incident I remembered from my past life. I held the milk, saying nothing. She really was like me. She had returned with memories of her past life. Shen Buyu thought I did not believe her. She got so angry that she opened her mouth to bite me. Go on. I believe you. What else did you dream about? She calmed down and told me everything that happened in her past life from the beginning. 6 months after you left the hospital, I heard there was treatment abroad that could heal your leg, but it was far too expensive. I could only work night shifts to save money. Later, and Lan came to me. He said there was a high-paying job at the sports center, but I had to work during the day. Night shifts paid too little. I wanted to save enough for your treatment as quickly possible, so I had no choice but to accept. I left you home alone. I never imagined there would be a fire. As she said this, all color had drained from her face. So, in our past life, she had seen and Lan so often, not because old feelings had returned. She only wanted to earn enough to pay for treatment for my leg, and I had never imagined she would do all that for me. Even when she said she would care for me for the rest of my life, I thought it was only temporary guilt, something that would eventually run out. I raised my hand, just about to take hers, when her phone suddenly rang. The screen showed only one name, and Lan. I withdrew my hand, stood with the milk in hand, and said, I will wash the cup. Shen Buyu followed me into the kitchen. In front of me, she answered the call and turned on the speaker. Buyu, this will probably be the last time I call you. The wind howled loudly on the other end, mixed with the clink of bottles. Where are you? I am on the rooftop of our old high school building. And Lan began talking about the year his parents had just died. Shen Buyu had promised to be his family and had stopped him at that very same place. That year, he had wanted to jump from there too. Shen Buyu had talked him down. Now, you do not want me either. It seems I have nothing left to live for. And Lan, do not do anything rash. I am coming right now. Shen Buyu grabbed her coat, then tugged at my sleeve. Why are you just standing there? Hurry and get dressed. I am coming too. Or do you expect me to go alone? I am only one woman. I cannot pull him back alone. She had already called the police. The students had not even finished evening study yet. How could he jump in front of all those children? After giving them the location, she also told the police to find out how. A drunk man had gotten into the school and onto the rooftop. When we reached the school, the police had already evacuated the students and set up a cordon below the school building. And Lan stood at the edge of the rooftop, still gripping half a bottle of liquor. Several empty wine glasses lay overturned beside him. The police kept their distance, not daring to rush toward him. The police took Shen Buyu upstairs and told her to keep Lan talking. Rescue was on the way. She looked back at me. I stood outside the cordon and nodded at her. Shen Buyu took a deep breath and stepped forward. And Lan, the figure at the edge moved. And Lan turned around, his face still clouded by drink. Buyu, you came. And Lan, come down first, all right. He did not move. Instead, he apologized to Shen Buyu. I was too greedy. I wanted to be more than just family to you. As he spoke, he suddenly looked at me beyond the cordon. You once promised to celebrate my birthday with me every year. Sing me a birthday song, and I will come down. All right. I promise. Shen Buyu did not hesitate when she finished the birthday song, and Lan finally rose from the edge and faced her. I have not heard you sing in years. You still sound beautiful. Thank you. His voice suddenly became calm, as if the man at the rooftop's edge had never been him. I have one more question. Do you still love me? My heart sank. Though I knew Shen Buyu had already given him an answer, I instinctively wanted to get away. But the wind still carried her voice to me. We are only family. I used to think I could not live without you either. But I later realized I had mistaken those feelings all along. And Lan, you need to think this through too. If you truly loved me, how could you bear to leave me for so long? Maybe it is not me you cannot let go of now. Maybe you just cannot accept that I love someone else. And Lan looked at me over the crowd, his gaze lingering for a long time. Let us go back first. We can talk it through once we're back. But he only smiled at Shen Buyu. Buyu, I am certain. I love you. As the words fell, and Lan stepped backward, everyone around him rushed to the rooftop's edge. The rescue workers below sprang into action. Shen Buyu froze, staring down below. Her legs gave out, and she collapsed. Her whole body went cold, and her hands trembled. I crossed the cordon and pulled her into my arms. I got him killed. Shen Buyu clutched my hand desperately, asking again and again what she should do. I am sorry. I am sorry. I did not know he would really step back. I held her shoulders. He is not dead. The police had already set up a rescue airbag below. They caught him. Only then did her rigid body relax. She buried herself in my arms and burst into tears. Her tears quickly soaked through my clothes, but she seemed not to feel it at all. She only kept asking whether Lan had truly been saved. Her eyes were closed, but her tears would not stop. I did not rush her. I just waited for her to calm down. And Lan only suffered minor injuries. He has been taken to the hospital. If you want to go, I will take you. Shen Buyu shook her head, her voice hoarse. I want to stay with you. Okay. Once she had recovered a little, I helped her into the car. Then we went to the hospital together. On the way, she leaned against my shoulder, as if all her strength had drained away at once. I swallowed the question Lan had just asked, and did not ask why she had chosen me. And Lan was placed in an observation room, still unconscious. His face was pale, his eyes tightly shut. He was nothing like the obsessive man on the rooftop. Shen Buyu sat quietly beside his bed. I stood beside her, watching the two people who had once loved each other. I could not name the feeling in my heart. After sitting there for a while, Shen Buyu suddenly stood. She took my hand and led me out of the room. She held my hand tightly, not letting go even at the end of the hall. I looked down at our clasped hands and felt unexpectedly happy. Only at the end of the hall did she turn to face me. Fang Xiu, you remember the dream I told you about? I remember. She tightened her grip on my hand. After that fire took you from me in our past life, I kept wanting to die with you. But the police investigating the fire told me the fire was not an accident. All the evidence pointed to one person. And Lan. Shen Buyu nodded. She had never dared believe that the person she considered family could have been connected to that fire. I did not hide it from her any longer. Shen Buyu. I came back with memories of my past life too. She went completely still. A few seconds later, she finally pieced everything together. So, when you woke after the car accident, you wanted a divorce. You did not believe I could love you. You thought I had abandoned you in our past life. Before I died, I called you so many times. Not one call got through. I wasn't ignoring your calls. Shen Buyu immediately shook her head. That day, after I left home, I ran into Lan. Later, I fell asleep in his car. By the time I woke up, it was too late. She shook her head frantically, her eyes reddening at once. In my past life, I thought she had come to hate me, but she thought she had caused my death. We each held only half the truth and missed our last chance to clear everything up. Her eyes reddened again, but she held back her tears. Little Xiu, I am sorry. Will you give me another chance? Please do not leave me. She held on so tightly, as though my silence meant she would lose me all over again. I wiped away her tears. Am I not still right here with you? You are so clingy. I could not shake you off if I tried. How could I dare leave you? Shen Buyu threw her arms around me. She squeezed me so hard I could barely breathe. Thank you, little Xiu. Thank you for still wanting me. But when she thought of Lan in the hospital room, she slowly loosened her arms. He said he loved me. If he hurt you in our past life, I do not know how to face him. We will get to the truth. No matter what we find, I am here. If he truly was involved in that fire in our past life, we will find the evidence. And if he was not, we cannot convict him based on a dream alone. She nodded and returned to the hospital room with me. We stood outside for a while. Neither of us spoke again. And Lan was still asleep in the hospital bed, unaware of everything that had just happened. And Lan woke the next day. He looked very weak, yet his eyes held the relief of a burden lifted. When he saw us on the companion bed beside his, he simply said, "You are both here." Shen Buyu rose and walked to his bedside. She asked how he was feeling, and Lan smiled and said he felt only a little dizzy, but his gaze passed over her and settled on me. I nodded at him, but did not go closer. Before long, the police came to the room as well. They questioned him about the night before, notepads in hand. The moment the uniforms appeared, the mood in the room changed. Shen Buyu stood by the bed, her brow furrowing deeper. I did not interrupt. I only watched Lan answer every question. And Lan answered cooperatively, but kept avoiding their eyes. He only said he had drunk too much, and went to the rooftop in a moment of impulse. When he finished, he looked at me again. Something complicated flickered in his eyes. After the questioning ended, Shen Buyu watched the police leave, her brow never easing. I watched in Lan's evasive gaze as well. Can we believe what he said? Shen Buyu was not sure either. She hesitated outside the room for a long time. I do not know whether to believe him, or keep investigating the fire from our past life. First, we find the truth. Whether we believe him depends on the evidence. Over the next few days, we visited him in the hospital, while also having people investigate the old fire. But just when we thought it was nearly over, and Lan suddenly vanished, the police searched everywhere he might have gone. We also questioned everyone who had seen him. Still, there was no trace of him. That week, Shen Buyu and I searched nearly everywhere he used to go, but everyone gave us the same answer. They had not seen him. The police investigation never stopped either, but Lan seemed to have disappeared from the city. A week later, when I went to work, I saw him again outside my office building. He had wrapped himself up tightly and looked utterly disheveled. Only his eyes, fixed on me, burned with madness. Sensing something wrong, I immediately called the police. Before I could speak, and Lan snatched away my phone and smashed it hard onto the ground. He was holding a dagger. People nearby saw it and screamed as they backed away. I could not dodge in time, and he wounded me. I staggered backward. Fang Xiu, once you are dead, Buyu will be mine. Why? I stared at him. Only at that moment did we finally learn the truth about the fire in our past life. Because you stole her from me. I watched the madman before me, trying to put as much distance between us as I could. And Lan gave me no chance. As long as you are alive, Buyu will never come back to me. He gripped the dagger and charged at me again. A figure suddenly lunged in from the side and shoved him away. It was Shen Buyu. She grabbed in Lan's hand, trying to wrench away the dagger. As they struggled, the dagger fell to the ground. Bracing myself, I shouted, Buyu, come back. But Lan snatched up the dagger first and rushed at me again. Shen Buyu did not retreat. She stepped directly in front of me and took the blow from me. The moment she collapsed into my arms, and Lan froze too. Buyu. I held Shen Buyu tightly, calling her name over and over. The people nearby who had been waiting for an opening rushed forward and pinned him to the ground. The police arrived soon after and forced Lan into a patrol car. The ambulance rushed us both to the hospital. Once we were in the ambulance, I kept holding her hand until I lost consciousness too. When I woke again, I was lying in a hospital room. Shen Buyu lay in the next bed, her face terribly pale. Thankfully, her breathing was steady. I watched her for a long time, making sure she was still breathing. Before I dared breathe a sigh of relief, I tried to sit up, but could only remain in bed and watch her. After the examination, the doctor told me her condition was stable. Her vital organs were unharmed. She only needed time to recover. You were both very lucky. After the doctor left, I looked at Shen Buyu again. Though her face was still pale, she already looked more alive than when she first arrived. The weight in my heart finally eased when I thought of the moment she stepped in front of me. Even now, I was still shaken by it. Along with gratitude, I felt an indescribable guilt. In the days that followed, we both remained in the hospital. The first thing I did each morning was check whether she was feeling better. Day by day, color returned to her face. At last, she had the strength to talk to me. We spoke of the car accident and the fire, and of the truths we only learned after each other's deaths. When I stood in front of you, I was not thinking of anything. I could not protect you in our past life. This time, I could not stand by and do nothing. And Lan had injured his leg before he returned home. He only used that car accident to place all the blame on you. I only learned later that his leg injury had nothing to do with you. I never knew how to tell you. I put it off until the end, and never cleared up the misunderstanding. When I truly wanted to explain everything, you had already died in that fire. I never knew how to tell you, and I never had another chance to apologize. She misunderstood me and hurt me, and I did the same to her. Back then, I was certain she left late at night to see her old love. I never asked what she was really doing. We were both trapped by the half-truth each of us had seen. Until our past life ended, we never made things clear. After I died, she could not endure the pain of losing me. She lived out the rest of that life in guilt. When she was given another life, she did hesitate. She felt she did not deserve my love again, and feared she would hurt me again. But she feared losing me even more. When she woke after the car accident and saw that my leg could still move, she knew this life was truly a chance to start over. So in the end, she tore up the divorce papers. Then Grandma tested me with those rebirth novels. Then Lan came charging at us with a knife. She had no time to think. She only knew she had to stand in front of me. I took her hand and did not let her continue. Our past life is over. But what Lan did, and the people he hurt in this life cannot be forgiven just because we were reborn. Fang Xiu, I will never let anyone hurt you again. Not even me. There were still tears in her eyes, but her voice was firmer than ever. I nodded and held her hand more tightly. This time, we finally said everything we left unsaid in our past life. We made it all clear. After hearing this, for the first time, I felt truly at peace. The days in the hospital were dull, but waking up to see each other. Yet time passed quickly anyway. We also talked about our life after discharge. After a period of rest and recovery, both Shen Buyu and I had recovered without any serious problems. After leaving the hospital, we went to see Lan once. He looked far more haggard. When he saw our joined hands, he froze only briefly. The madness I had seen in his eyes outside my office was gone. He quickly regained his composure. I lost in both lives. I brought it on myself. Shen Buyu looked at him for a long time and only said, Lan, live with the consequences of your choices. Only then did I learn that Lan had also returned with memories of his past life. But even with another chance, he still could not let go of his resentment. Only this time, he had no chance to escape the consequences he deserved. With that, Shen Buyu took my hand and led me away. The setting sun